But I do believe that xelnas will be starting up shortly. You do always start with Super Metroid. You always start here on Zebes from a Samus's ship. And the planet is already pre-awakened. So as soon as you come through this door, all of the enemies are already spawned. You don't have to go through the sequence of heading down to the Blue Brinstar area. It's almost like the planet believes you've already picked up the morph ball. Most runners, as you may see xelnas doing here, will head straight through the first portal area directly into Link to the Past because it will allow you the most items straight up front. So it's the most item dense location between both games. And from here, from the fortune teller's hut there next to Lake Hylia, he's going to head up towards Hyrule Castle, kill the first blue guard here, as well as doing a tree pull. There are 3 different levels of the tree pull that will give you items. The first one here being 1 kill with taking no damage will give you a single rupee. Our uncle today does not have a sword for us, but the chest right next to him in the secret passage, if you're familiar with Link to the Past randomizer, does have that sword. Alright, and so the other level of our tree pull there giving us some additional arrows. And xelnas is now going to be heading through the normal escape sequence that you would play through the original Link to the Past game. It will give 3, I believe, potentially up to 3 items if xelnas... Oh, I was going to say, if xelnas is able to find the lantern that will allow him to progress through the back half of the escape sequence. The seed so far for a randomizer seems to be very kind because it is it's gonna allow xelnas to pick up that first sword as well as the lantern. The lantern will give you the kind of like a little light circle around you when you go into dark rooms. Oh. Alright. xelnas gets the work done here with this ball and chain guard. Picks up the shovel. That is definitely not vanilla. But he does take an intentional death here. This is called a death warp that allows him to reset his game back to the beginning of the castle dungeon here without having to walk all the way back through all of those rooms that he went through. And so now you see he's going to be entering this room and he has this little cone of light in front of him. The lantern that he picked up is what allows him to go through and see where he's going in these dark rooms. The only thing that could happen here in this room is that he would need to find a small key to progress further. But that is a bomb capacity upgrade. So he'll reset now back to the sanctuary, doing a save and quit to find that one small key. So from here, he can either head back through the escape sequence or wait until he finds the power glove. The power glove will allow him to head to the back of the escape area to check the final 3 chests within the escape sequence that are available to him. xelnas is now checking the Lost Woods area. There's one item here that's on the forest floor. This is normally where you would find the mushroom item within A Link to the Past. Today it's just going to be a pack of regular missiles from Super Metroid. That is our first piece of ammo, followed up shortly by a pack of super missiles. Just to answer a comment in chat from Nasser50, save and quit is definitely OP. It helps a lot in kind of optimizing your routing until you find the flute from Link to the Past to kind of help you move around the world of Hyrule through the Link to the Past randomizer. Alright, so this is Blind's Hut. There are 5 different items here that we can pick up, starting with 50 rupees, a pack of super missiles, a pack of regular missiles, a red rupee, which is 20 rupees. And the final item here in the back of Blind's Hut is an arrow capacity upgrade. How do you enter Super Metroid from this game? There are 4 fixed locations in each game that allow you to change from one game to the other. Five more items here in the Kakariko well that will potentially hold some progression for us. Definitely love to see a full heart container. Back of the well holding an energy tank for Super Metroid, as well as 10 arrows. The charge beam. Charge beam is definitely really nice to find because that will help with a few of our ammo requirements that are needed for Super Metroid. xelnas with his final bomb here, opening up the chicken hut. Picking up an extra 5 missiles. xelnas is going to pop into this little vendor here and pick up 10 bombs for 50 rupees. That's pretty much all of his money from Link to the Past currently. But let's see. Ooh, magic cape from the back of the tavern here. Alright, so the 4 entrances that are available from Link to the Past to Super Metroid to the Link to the Past are the Fortune Teller Hut south of Link's house, right next to the Lake of Hylia, is the portal that will take you to the Criteria location. There is also the cave that is just north of the Old Man Cave, and that will take you to the Norfair Business Center, or Upper Norfair within Super Metroid. The right side Lake Hylia Dark World Cave or the cave from Link to the Past that would normally be where the ice rod is, that cave is a portal to Meridia within Super Metroid, behind Batroon and just before Dragon. And the final portal is in the Misery Mire area, the right shed, instead of the left shed that normally has 2 items within it. The shed to the right of the Misery Mire entrance will take you to the Lower Norfair room just behind Golden Terrazzo that normally will have the energy refill immediately following Screw Attack. Those are the 4 entrances that allow you to change from Super Metroid to Link to the Past, Link to the Past to Super Metroid. Alright, so the Swamp Palace Dam area here in Link to the Past, just holding some additional ammo upgrades, a bomb capacity upgrade, as well as a super missile upgrade from Link to the from Super Metroid. And xelnas is heading over through the South Hylia Shore area to check the Mini Moldorm Cave. There are 5 more items available in this cave. A really good job of using the bombs as well as his sword to open that up, getting the ice rod, as well as some missiles and a shield. And this area is one of the scariest areas that you can come across in Link to the Past Light World, because these little crab enemies do 2 hearts of damage. It's one of the hardest hitting enemies within Link to the Past that that you can actually come across in the Light World. Just like that. So xelnas now has the option to head back to the Ice Rod Cave to check that out, or potentially orphan or abandon that location and hope that it's maybe just something like some bombs, a piece of heart, even if it is something from Super Metroid like a missile pack with charge beam. We won't technically be missing that item. For now, he is going to head to a more item-dense location, checking out Sahasrah's hut here. Sahasrah is one of the elders, or the elder, from Link to the Past. Ooh. And there we find our Morph Ball. That does open up quite a few things within Super Metroid. We do not yet have the Morph Ball bombs, but we did get the Morph Ball that with the power bombs that we picked up is a really great find, and then it allows us of quite a few options within Super Metroid that we can now check. But we'll do a quick dip into Eastern Palace. Without Bow, this dungeon is still vanilla locked. It does require Bow to complete, but having picked up Lantern already in the game, we can at least check all of the chests available outside of the item that the boss could potentially be carrying to find all of our dungeons, potentially held items. And just so you guys know, The requirement of this game with a combo randomizer is that both Ganon and Mother Brain have to be killed in order for the game to be considered completed. So just like in Link to the Past, the normal randomizer, you are still required to pick up all 7 crystals, as well as any items that are needed to complete those crystals. And similarly, in Super Metroid, you have to beat all 4 of the bosses that are required to enter Torian to beat Mother Brain. Alright, good to find the big key here. That will allow us access to the big chest. This version of the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer does not yet include the dungeon hint tiles, so xelnas won't be checking any of the hint tiles that are currently available in the most recent version of the Link to the Past randomizer. That would normally give you a hint like, let's say, Fire Rod is in Swamp Palace or something like that. So when you're looking at the tracker for this run, you may notice that a lot of the items are not listed on the tracker that we may want to know about, such as having a lantern as a fire source. That's not listed on the tracker just because technically it isn't required for Go mode of the game. Alright, so Eastern Palace, having been a crystal, we don't know if it was a 5 or 6 crystal yet, isn't holding anything that we are really going to be missing. And xelnas, having picked up the small key from Sanctuary, is definitely heading to the back to access the final 3 chests that are available within this escape sequence. Alright, so using the small key that he picked up from Sanctuary, xelnas is going to be heading through this water sewer area. He will have to kill the rat to pick up the final key before heading to the final 3 chests in Sanctuary. Really nicely done with the sword swings there. Alright, finds X-Ray and Spring Ball. Spring Ball. Alright. Our last couple item locations available from xelnas being the Ice Rod Cave that we left behind from that unfortunate death from the silly little crabs at the South Shore location, as well as the dig spot here that xelnas is heading towards right now. Oh, dig spot holding an E-tank. Early find, nice find. Good to pick up before heading into Super Metroid. Alright, and xelnas heading now towards the Lake Hylia Fortune Teller Hut. This will be one of our teleport locations. Entering into this building will bring him to the Criteria location. From here, he can head south to the Blue Brinstar location, which is one of the first locations that you are able to check. Oh, no. He made a liar out of me. He's going to check this item location first. One of the better ways to kind of route this in, already having picked up some power bombs. But just a vanilla missile pack here. Spring ball making this super easy to route in, not having to worry about using a power bomb to bounce yourself back up to get through that escape area. And as you see, even though xelnas hasn't quite yet made it to Blue Brinstar area, the planet is already pre-awakened, as I mentioned at the beginning of the randomizer. That means that it's already gone through the kind of like the way that the game is aware that you're on the planet and trying to do things on the planet. Oh, and the magic hammer there. Really nice find. Gonna pick that up, make Link to the Past a little bit easier to route through. All right, a missile pack there where the E-Tank normally would be, as well as a heart piece. Nice to find. And xelnas is heading up to what we like to affectionately call the Billy Mays location here in Blue Brinstar. Planting a power bomb at the top of this very small little shaft area. And this room has some water at the bottom, but if you jump just as you enter the doorway, you're able to kind of propel yourself up and over the water spot. It looks like, ooh, he may have bonked. Yeah, he definitely bonked at the top of the doorway there. But he gets it this time. All right, so we got a reserve tank, but wait, there's more. We got a big 20 there with 20 rupees. Thanks, Billy Mays. And xelnas has finished the item checks here, with the exception of the construction zone, which we are heading towards now. This is normally your vanilla missile pack that is needed to kind of progress through Super Metroid, the first one that you would pick up normally. And today it's just a 10 arrow item pickup. Not a capacity upgrade, but just the 10 arrow item. And xelnas deciding to head back up through the Criteria escape area. Probably going to be checking Old Mother Brain instead of going through the Green Brinstar Green Hills zone area. All right. Here we're checking the Old Mother Brain item location that just has a piece of heart for us today. And xelnas will be climbing back up through the escape sequence here. This is the vanilla escape sequence that's used in the original Metroid game, rebuilt, redesigned, obviously, for Super Metroid here. it's a little bit easier to kind of get through here in Super Metroid, and xelnas is showing really great skill doing the wall jump along one wall. Really great job with the wall jumps. I can't do that. Alright, so xelnas, having made it back to this criteria area, haven't really found anything besides hammer that's going to help us progress through Link to the Past, so we're going to stick in Super Metroid. Probably check out Bomb Chorizo here. And this is going to be pretty fun for anybody who doesn't watch the Super Metroid randomizer fairly often. Coming into this room, normally, when you get this little item, that would grant you the Morph Bombs item. And then you would have to then fight that statue, which reanimates, comes alive, and then you would fight that statue as a boss. But without having picked up the actual Morph Bombs item within the game, that does not trigger the statue to actually reanimate, come to life, and turn into a boss. So you don't have to fight that statue in the Super Metroid randomizer or this combo randomizer unless you have actually picked up the Morph Bombs item from either Link to the Past or Super Metroid. So you can go into that room, grab the item that the statue is holding, and then leave. But if you've picked up the Morph Bombs, or if Morph Bombs are vanilla and that statue is holding them, then the door will seal shut after you pick it up, if you pick it up. And then you would have to fight the boss after that. Sometimes if you've already picked up the Morph Bombs earlier in Super Metroid or from Link to the Past and you walk into that room, even if you haven't picked up the item, that the boss will automatically animate. It's kind of funny to watch when there's an item floating in the room, but you're fighting the Bomb Chorizo boss. Alright, so the Terminator location, not holding any items for us that we are going to be looking at picking up. xelnas did not check the back of the Super Metroid Gauntlet, but he has entered into the Green Brinstar location. Jumping as he's heading into this door, he's trying to set up the Mock Ball, which will allow you to maintain momentum as you're jumping, but also allow you to morph, so that you're able to sneak under these gates that would normally require that you have the speed booster item to find that ooh, we got Power Glove. This is what we like to call the Green Brinstar Reserve Room, or the Early Supers location, because you're able to, in the vanilla Super Metroid game. Oh, and mirror. Wow. It's a really nice Green Brinstar Reserve Room. Gloves and mirror. It's really nice finds. But using that Mock Ball technique allows you to get past those gates early in the Super Metroid game, as well as the randomizer, that gives you the ability to pick up super missiles early in Super Metroid, so we call it the Early Supers location. All right. xelnas is now going through the Edacoon's location, so named by the cute and friendly little Zebesian creatures that are here to teach you how to wall jump. For anybody who is familiar with the original Super Metroid game, can be a frustrating area. I am not super really talented in doing wall jumps. Ooh, just a big 20 here at the Edacoon's Powerbomb location. But this area, as somebody growing up playing this game, vanilla, was always really frustrating to have to try to go through learning to wall jump. All right, so that has cleared up pretty much everything in Green Brinstar that is available. We're going to be heading over to the room that we like to call the Big Pink. It's a big room with pink walls, so pretty aptly named location. A couple different items here that we can check. xelnas is filling up on some missiles, super missiles that are going to be required for a item check that's coming up, as well as probably just filling up on general ammo and health. Ooh, snagging a power bomb drop there, which is pretty rare from these red little bugs. They don't drop them very often. All right, xelnas dealing with these little tiny side hopper guys that are obnoxious. Ooh, and finding our second sword upgrade. While the sword icon is showing white, like the fighter sword, it's actually just a palette color change from Super Metroid to Link to the Past. So that is our second sword pickup, or the Master Sword, and gravity! Yo, that's a really nice find. Gravity in the combo randomizer does not actually reduce the damage. Ooh, and Book of Medora as well. Gravity does not actually reduce the damage that... Oh, and Titan's Mitts! What is this pink Brinstar? Wow. That's like the hype cave of Super Metroid. That was really amazing. A lot of really great finds for xelnas there. Alright, the Green Hill Zone item just holding a piece of heart. xelnas opting to not pick that up. I don't really see any reason that you should. There will definitely be enough heart containers and other pieces of heart picked up for Link to the Past later on. All right, and xelnas now heading into the Red Tower, so affectionately named because it is part of the Red Brinstar item locations here in Super Metroid. It's also the Red Tower because it is a long tower, a single shaft of Red Brinstar locations. All right, so this is the Spazer location, and xelnas doing a really good job of skipping that with Spring Ball, so he doesn't have to wait for the block there to pick back up before heading over to check that. All right, using his last power bomb here, but this little spiky ball would normally drop some ammo, either a super missile or a power bomb. But he's looking to head directly towards Upper Norfair, which also has a Link to the Past portal. So this allows him to check a couple item locations as well as head back into Link to the Past to Death Mountain. And so we're going to check the high jump location to start. Just a blue rupee. And some power bombs there. Nice find, especially considering that he's currently out of power bombs. And the vanilla high jump item is just a pack of missiles. And Zenla's doing a really good job of actually touching that blue rupee item so he doesn't have to deal with the time of the item being displayed as well as waiting for the game to allow him to head back to motion. And the green gate there for the Crackermeyer Lower Norfair location only holding some super missiles. And Zelna's doing a really good job here of knowing that these little cricket enemies will guarantee some power bomb drops. So he's now back up to 7 power bombs. It's really nice to keep that bomb count up. I believe that we may... Oh, I was going to say we may see him head to Ice Beam location, but he's going to be heading back into Link to the Past. So heading through that doorway from Super Metroid at the at the Upper Norfair location is a check here. Oh, all right. So I believe that was the red crystal there at Tower of Hera, both Eastern and Desert being one of our normal crystal locations. Xelnas is traversing backwards through this cave. Having the lantern allows him to go and pick up the old man here. Gets him the hook shot! That's amazing! Having found the hookshot here, it gives us full access to the Light World Death Mountain, including Tower of Hera, because once you have that hookshot and you head over here to this bridge area, you are able to hookshot clear across and come over here to the right side. Still no Moon Pearl though. But it does give us access to what we like to call the Super Bunny Cave. We like to call it the Super Bunny Cave because it's one of the few places that you can actually use the bunny form of Link to still open chests, because you create this kind of like suspended but animated state. Ooh, and the ice beam? What? That is crazy. Finding ice beam and charge beam already super early in the game. But being in this bunny state, normally you're not able to do anything. You can't pick anything up. You can't use a sword. You can't use your hook shot. Okay, 5-6 crystal at Skullwoods and Turtle Rock. But I did miss the other pendant locations. I'm guessing they were Swamp Palace and Ice Palace, it looked like. Possibly Misery Mire? Yeah, I was gonna say it had to be Swamp Palace and Ice Palace because those were the ones that I didn't see. Thanks so much, chat, for filling me in. Alright, so Spiral Cave, which was the location that xelnas was just checking, it's so affectionately called because it's literally a spiral that you have to go through. Kind of a slow check to do without boots, but only giving us a bomb capacity upgrade. And xelnas now heading into Paradox Cave. Called Paradox Cave because you head in from the bottom and then you fall down. So then you would think that you're falling further down into the mountain, but when you come out of the cave here, you're actually coming out above the entrance of the cave that you originally went into. So it's a little bit of a paradox. It's kind of confusing the way that the cave layout works. So, ooh. We got some shoes. We got them boots. All right. So Zelma is here choosing to save and quit after finishing up Paradox Cave, having picked up the boots. Really nice find. And with and doing a sword spin here for a dash that allows you to use the speed of Pegasus boots while not actually having to worry about directional changes. Normally when you have the boots, you can only go one direction at the speed of the boots. Ooh, there's an E-Tank. I think xelnas will probably go pick that up. Or not. Maybe later. Or not. I don't know. Alright, so definitely going to be heading up to check Tower of Hera. We do have the Book of Medora. And xelnas is going to check the Ether Tablet here. Having the Master Sword and the Book of Medora allows xelnas to actually pick up the item here, which is the Speed Booster item for Super Metroid. A really nice find. If you have the Book of Medora, but you only have the Fighter Sword within Link to the Past, you're able to read the tablet and find out what item it is that's actually held there, but you're not able to actually pick up the item until you have Master Sword or higher. xelnas doing a really good job here, finishing up these blue beetles to open up the door and head further through Tower of Hera. All right, finding one of two items here in Tower of Hera, being the super missiles there. All right, heading back up. Definitely not intending to fall there, I believe. I was trying to remember. I remember the compass at the front in the basement that we checked, and I'm picking up the big key. And having the boots as well as the hook shot makes this check of the Tower of Hera big chest super easy. Just hook shot across, and then use the Pegasus boots to kind of create this momentum to bonk into the chest, and then do the rebound back off. Tell you how that was a time save? Using the mirror or accidentally falling down? Alright, so the Moldorm here, our first boss from Link to the Past, could potentially hold the small key that is needed to access. Oh no, xelnas! Ah. Moldorm is a bully today. Moldorm here may potentially hold an item or the small key that is needed to access the basement of Tower of Hera. If Moldorm holds a small key, xelnas will head back into Tower of Hera. Very good job there. Alright, so just a piece of heart. So the small key that is needed to get to the basement is locked in the basement. There are a couple things within Link to the Past that kind of have that logic, seeing that we don't actually need that small key. The game can actually lock it behind itself. Another example of something like that happening would be the Swamp Palace or Skullwood's big key being locked within the Swamp Palace or Skullwood's big chest. The small key that is needed to open the door to Thieves Town could also potentially be locked in the big chest behind the door that yeah. I don't understand. It's kind of like leaving your house keys in your house when you leave, but then locking the door before you leave. It happens. I mean, everybody does it, right? I've never done it. All right, back into Super Metroid. I believe xelnas will likely be heading over to check out what Kraid's holding today. And now that xelnas has picked up Speed Booster, it creates this weird kind of a state when you're trying to do like a run that it actually kind of holds you back from gaining the proper momentum that you need to get to certain areas. So turning off Speed Booster temporarily to make that jump to the Kraid boss location without actually having high jump. Ooh, and there's screw attack. Wow. Anyways, turning off Speed Booster allows you to get the momentum that you need to make that jump without having to wait for the actual momentum to build up. Doing a couple damage boosts there, showing off some good skill. And here we are at the Kraid fight, potentially going to see a Kraid quick kill, meaning that xelnas could actually defeat Kraid before Kraid does the full extension and stand up of his whole body. Oh, and today we are not getting the Kraid quick kill. Kraid also being a little bit crazy and not activating the damage options when getting hit by missiles or super missiles there. Must be an iframe, something happening. Very nicely done though for a non-quick kill Kraid and some weird iframe things. Getting rewarded with a heart container. Still nice to find since we are lacking a little bit of health in Link to the Past still. A couple more items available for xelnas to check here on his way out of Kraid's area. The Kraid E-Tank being the first one that we'll check. Oh, a vanilla E-Tank. How lovely. All right, so there's a couple different places that xelnas can go from here. Definitely back into Link to the Past with Speed Booster. He's got a couple different places within Upper Norfair, including Crockermire, that he's able to check. It's a little less fun to do without Varia, because that would technically be out of sequence. It would be a hell run, as we'd like to call it. There is also some early item locations in Meridia with Ice Beam and Gravity Suit that he can check as well. Purple Phobia in chat asking, how exactly does the transition between A Link to the Past and Metroid work? There are 4 fixed locations in both games that allow you to transition from one game to the other. One of which being just below this Ice Beam location that will send you from Upper Norfair to Death Mountain. Right, so Ice Beam just holding a regular missile pack, and xelnas doing a soft reset of the game, or technically a hard reset of the game here, to just take him back to that save just before heading up to the Ice Beam location. Right, so Speed Booster in hand. xelnas is heading through this little hallway here, breaking through those Speed Booster blocks, heading towards Bubble Mountain. Not to be confused with Candy Mountain. And seeing 100 rupees there next to that Red Ripper in the bottom right location of Bubble Mountain. Not going to be picking that up, I don't believe. And xelnas here with another save. I'm going to be using the Ice Beam to, well, I guess he's going for this wall jump. Ooh. This is a pretty close jump here. I feel like it's a little bit easier to do when you don't have space jump on myself, because then you can kind of actually see the frames. Yeah. Turning off Speed Booster for the same reason that we turned speed booster off for the Kraid dungeon location. Oh, misses the jump. Try it again. Gotta turn off space or screw attack if you want to try going for ice beam strats. Oh, using the... Oh, almost got it. Alright, we're heading back. Reset the room real quick. This room's pretty nice to allow you to refill your health. Xelnas turning off ice beam so that these little enemies don't freeze before they die. And this is what we call a hell run, which is heading through heated rooms without the Varia suit to potentially check a couple item locations. He's got reserve tanks, so he's got a little bit of reserve energy. I don't know that I would say that's enough because he doesn't have, yeah, I'm gonna take a death here. I don't think that we've picked up enough power bombs to have like 3 power bomb items to have access to Crystal Flash. Alright, so looks like we are heading back to the main Norfair Business Center. Opening the door to Link to the Past, but oh, heading in. Let's see where we're at now. Heading back into Link to the Past and then doing a reset while still in Link to the Past will send you back to Super Metroid. Any hard reset will send you back to Super Metroid. And doing that hard reset sends you back to the beginning of the game, not reset like all the way, like everything's lost, but just a reset of your console or your emulator if you're using an emulator. And then that will put you back onto the ship and allow you to kind of start over from the start over point of the game. So he's going to be checking the criteria power bombs location to pick up 300 rupees. and heading over to the Super Metroid Gauntlet. Coming here with Screw Attack is kind of like cheating, because you can just break through all of these little blocks with Screw Attack. But xelnas is going for Power Bombs instead. There we go. Now he remembers he's got Screw Attack to break through those walls. So the first item here in the Super Metroid Gauntlet is the red boomerang. A little bit low on energy. He does still have the reserves, but makes it through. There are 2 items that are available here in the back of the Super Metroid Gauntlet. And he gets the pixel here that allows him to hit both crumble blocks and finds the bow. Yo, that bow dough. It's a really nice find, actually. That does open up Eastern Palace completion and also gives us access to Palace of Darkness right side if that happens to be bow locked. Alright, so Super Metroid Gauntlet paying off, picking up that bow. I think that xelnas should have stopped and at least refilled his health at the ship, even if he didn't save. But he is able to head over towards Wreck Ship with Speed Booster in hand. It looks like he's going to head over and check the Alpha Power Bombs location or the top of Red Tower. Right, so there are 3 items that we can check here. xelnas is kind of low on power bombs though, so we want to make sure we're careful of our power bomb usage here. No, xelnas, no! Man. I think he just realized that he's gonna need power bombs as well. Oh, Link Force 0 in chat is right. The little larva dudes below will drop some power bombs. So I did forget that. I was just really scared for him. Okay, so 2 more items down here that xelnas is able to check. These little larva bugs here are what xelnas is able to farm to get a couple power bombs. $35 energy. It's kind of scary. Having ice, though, makes it a lot easier to get past these little yellow goober jumping dudes. Oh, blue mail. Nice find. And a big 20. All right, so no progression here at the top of the Red Tower or the Alpha Power Bombs location. Still potentially quite a few item checks that are available within Wreck Ship. I think that's where he's heading. Be heading into wreck ship, we'll see. Okay. Heading over to the ship I'm thinking to refill. Yeah. So having speed booster is going to be our logic for getting to wreck ship as well as getting across the ocean or the lake access here. We don't have space jump. We don't have grapple beam. So xelnas is going to be doing this this little speed booster charge to jump through the door, make it across the moat, and then whoa, fire rod. Hot diggity dog. That's a fire rod. And plasma beam? What? Charge, plasma, x-ray. Who can tell me what that means? That's like the perfect time to find plasma. Seriously. Just before Fantoon, so that you can do your awesome microwave beam. That's a little ridiculous, okay? This is getting to be a little bit silly. Alright, xelnas doing this one check here that is available before fighting Fantoon. Picks up a heart container. Nice to find. So for anyone who isn't versed in Super Metroid and the beam combinations, things that you can do with all of your different beams and the items available in Super Metroid, having plasma beam, charge beam, and the X-ray item, which is at the top of the screen currently, that looks like a little triangle. If you have charge beam, plasma, as well as the X-ray, you are able to do a charge beam shot and use the X-ray to pause the beam as it's passing through a boss or an enemy, and that allows you to pause the frames of the game to allow the damage to continue to occur every time you pause and unpause the game using the X-ray. xelnas, I believe, will be showing us exactly how to microwave a ghost. I mean, all of those like crazy ghost hunting shows can take a hint from this. Alright, Fantoon giving us quite a few little slow phases here. Alright. These silly little flames are being a little bit of a pest. I feel like for me, it's a little bit easier to get the first strike with the missile for the Doppler effect, because then you can kind of oh, there we go. All right, got a couple frames there that the microwave should have hit through. But I do still feel like it's a little bit easier to get the X-ray hits after you've hit Phantoon with the missiles, because then you can kind of predict his movement. But xelnas does finish up a Phantoon. Even if you just use plain plasma charged shots and don't even go for the X-ray, Phantoon is significantly simpler than just using missiles or super missiles. And having finished off Phantoon, all of the wrecked ship is now reactivated, reawakened. So now we've got all of these little electric circuit charge. So you're able to... Ooh, there's our first bottle. Right, so xelnas is going to save here before heading to the door just below to check the E-tank that is on the right side of wrecked ship. Having gravity suit makes this so much easier, simply because of the water that's in the first couple of rooms here. Makes it so that you don't have to worry about getting bogged down in this spike room specifically. A lot of people like to call this the spiky room of death. As well as the actual room back here itself. There's quite a bit of water that's here in this E-tank room. I believe it's an E-tank or reserve. I don't remember what it is in the vanilla game. Pretty much, unless you're doing 100% map completion or item collection, you don't come here ever in the vanilla game. Even in the randomizer, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, red mail though, and he's gonna pick it up. So a lot of the times you'll see somebody when they're doing a Super Metroid randomizer or this combo randomizer that once they actually once they finish with Phantoon, they'll go into that save room, save it, come and check this item location, and if it's something like a bomb capacity upgrade or a piece of heart or something else, missile pack, they may actually just reset their game back to that save room, just because it's just, I mean, sometimes it's not worth the time and the effort to make it back. And xelnas here pulling it pretty close, 26 health. I mean, he does still have his reserves available, but that can also, that whole escape back through the water and the spiky death room can be a little bit scary. Oh, he takes a hit from the broken glass there. Still can be pretty scary here. All right, so missiles here in this one item location that I believe is normally either an E-tank or some super missiles. I think it's super missiles. Oh no! All right, he does trigger his reserve. Oh no, okay. Yikers. Yikers! I'm really scared. He can make it back to the save room at least, but I'm not sure if he's going to want to head through the attic with his health as low as it is. All right, he is heading to the attic without saving. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. All right, that's better, but the attic can still be a little ruthless with some of the damage that you take from the key hunters that are up here. His plasma beam makes it quite a bit easier, but oh shoot. I'm scared. Okay, I think we made it. We got a couple more dudes on the left side over here. Okay, one more. One more. Yay! Okay, we did it. We made it. So this room is a room where you have to kill all of the enemies in the room before any of the doors will activate and allow you to pass through them. Once you do kill all of the enemies in the room, you're able to open all of the doors so that you don't have to go through and kill them all again to open the doors again, which makes it really nice. So the item here behind these robots that we call the attic item. Ooh, an E-tank. Saved by the E-tank. Really nice pickup there. That was perfectly timed. All right, so this is the top of the, or just the other attic areas. Looked like a big 20 there in missiles in the sky, so I don't think that xelnas will worry too much about picking those up. Another big 20 there. And then we just have the bowling area to check. We'd like to call this next area the bowling room, just because once you make it over here to this Chozo statue, or the Chorizo statue, and hop in its little gloves, it kind of does like this this little action, like it's gonna go bowling, and Samus is the bowling ball. So we'll have to see here what items are hidden behind the Chozo, and if we're gonna get a turkey, strike, gutter ball. What do we got going on over here? So far, the wreck ship check has only yielded us a red mail upgrade. Still looking for that moon pearl. Could potentially be behind Aga still. Yo, silver arrows! That is hype. I love seeing me some silver arrows. It's a really nice find. xelnas preparing. Oh, okay. Not gonna go for. Oh, getting spiked there. Okay. Going for the shine spark here. The required item dash that is needed. And then gonna be checking the vanilla gravity suit location. All right, just some missiles. Starman DLX in chat saying, how many Link to the Past bosses are still alive? You can actually check the tracker on the right side that shows which items he's picked up. You can see which dungeons are completed, what type of crystal or pendant they may be holding, as well as any other item question locations. If you have questions about locations, sorry, feel free to ask. Okay, so to speculate things that are currently available, we do still have Armos available in Eastern. We also have Desert available with Book. We could dip into Meridia with Gravity Suit Ice Beam. Makes things pretty nice. Aga is an option as well. Still looking for that Moon Pearl for our Dark World access. I think we also still have Bonk Rocks. We've got King's Tomb. Quite a few locations that xelnas has available as well. All right, back into Eastern Palace here. We do have Armos available. That would be our first crystal acquired for this run. And we do have both fire sources. So Desert Palace is completable as well. Even if it is boots locked, or if there's anything locked with Land Molus, then definitely able to clear up and finish that dungeon as well. Starman DLX in chat asking, does Super Metroid and Link to the Past Condo Randomizer also have hints? The answer is not yet. This is currently running off of version 29 of Link to the Past. So it will in the future, but not currently. So the tile hints that are incorporated in version 30 of A Link to the Past randomizer does not currently work in the combo randomizer. But we did get Eastern finished up, got a heart container. Also, in the future of the combo randomizer, they are also planning to implement some sort of key sanity that would require having picked up some kind of special item that would allow you to access the bosses. Kind of like the eye doors that are in Super Metroid currently. You would have to find an item that would actually allow you to either kill those eye doors or pass through the doors. So it's kind of something in the works to come up in the future to look forward to. All right, so Boots not holding anything fancy in either King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks. All right, so Xelnas looks to be heading towards desert. With the book in hand, he has access to the Desert Palace dungeon. Boots also make it quite a bit easier. Just in case the small key needed for Desert Palace, or the big key needed for Desert Palace, is on the Desert Palace torch. Agina holding 10 bombs. That is our normal 10 bomb item that can be in the escape sequence on a randomizer run where the uncle is not guaranteed to have a sword for you. All right, so dipping into Desert Palace here, this is fully clearable with Boots as well as a fire source. We have both Lantern and Fire Rod. Checking out the first chest here in the middle. Getting that small key. So as far as we know currently, the right side of Desert Palace at least is not Boots locked. Still looking for that big key. There are only 2 items available within Desert Palace, so they could potentially be here on this right side. Yo, almost vanilla. French vanilla. Big key there. And one of our 2 Desert Palace items. Really nice dash through those cannonballs there. Really hard to time that. Very lucky for Xelnas to have made it through that. Very well done. Alright, so we're going to check the torch here if it's our last item. And it is! Alright, so now we can just head straight to Lanmolis. Already got the big key, seen both items. Let's just go kill us some worms. Alright, just a couple more rooms away from the Desert Palace boss. Just gotta kill all of the little Ropa worm enemies here. I think these are Ropas. I never know the difference between the Popos and the Ropas. They're one or the other. I feel like I need to remember that the Popos are purple because it starts with P, but I feel like that's also wrong. I can never remember. Okay. So here we are in Lamolis. We got both the fire rod, silver arrows, and the bow that makes this boss super easy. Xelna's show now, it's done. Very well done. Unfortunately, still not finding the moon pearl. It's gotta be in Meridia. Like, I don't know where else it could be. Trying to think. I guess we do still have Hera, or no, I'm not Hera. Zora. Zora could potentially have Moon Pearl. We don't have flippers, so it would actually have to be on King Zora for the 500 full rupees. Oh yeah, sick kid. Xelnas remembers. Ah. All right, so it's gotta be in Meridia or on Zora. It has to be on King Zora or in Meridia. Yeah, or behind Aghanet. All right, so I guess we're making the Aga play, or not. Okay, you tricked me, Xelnas. Oh yeah, it could also be an Ice Rod Cave because we never made it all the way over here because the crabs were mean. If this is it, this whole time, so many minutes ago. What's it gonna be? No, that's not a moon pearl. Come on, man. All right. Fake flipper? Or are we adding... Yeah, fake flipper. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so fake flippered over here. Without Moon Pearl, we are unable to check the Waterfall Fairy item location, but King Zora could potentially still be holding that Moon Pearl for a easy 500 rupees. The Zora Ledge being a pack of super missiles. And today, the king has for us. That's round. It's definitely the right shape, but it's gotta be Meridia or Aga. This seed though, man, like Given the fact that Gravity Suit was so early, I would definitely say that it has to be Meridia. It's gotta be. Give me that beautiful Main Street Moon Pearl. All right, xelnas is gonna do the thing. He's gonna make chat happy and do the agape, which is good. You know, I don't actually think that lumberjack was checked. It could potentially be at lumberjack or on pyramid ledge for sure. Trying to remember if I saw lumberjack checked, but I don't think I did. Pretty sure it wasn't. Run away! Run away from the guard! Okay, good job. All right, grabbing that key from the archery dude, the bowman. Silver arrows are a godsend. Very nicely done. Picking up that final key. One more room. Just gotta head up here. Ready 1991 saying, so can someone explain to me what this mode is? Last time I watched it was just randomizer and that was it. So this is a combo randomizer that mixes together both Super Metroid and Link to the Past. There are 4 fixed locations in each game that allow you to transition from one game to the other. Items from both games can be mixed up, and you might find bow in Super Metroid, you might find gravity suit in Hyrule. So it's both randomizers smooshed together. And Game J06, otherwise known as Big John in chat, saying, I can't wait for the Zelda plus Metroid plus Donkey Kong Country randomizer. That is very likely to never, ever, ever going to happen. The only reason that Super Metroid and A Link to the Past work together as a combo randomizer is because neither game uses the same SRAM or save data RAM on either cartridge. What? It is Moon Pearl! Holy cow! That is ridiculous! Alright, now you gotta save and quit, I think. Oh, nope, there it is. Takes a second. Okay, cool. Wow. That is ridiculous. That is... I can't believe it. Cannot. Okay, so... back to what I was saying. Since neither game uses the same save RAM data or the SRAM data that either one uses, for save data, item data, that's pretty much the only reason why it is... yeah, Link Force, let's not talk about that. The only reason that this works is because neither game uses the same save state data that the other does. So it's seriously like a miracle, magical piece of nonsense work that these work together as it is. You can actually see some of the SRAM from Super Metroid not being saved every time you transition from Link to the Past to Super Metroid to Link to the Past. Sometimes when you go back into Super Metroid from Link to the Past and you open up your map, the completed areas of your Super Metroid map may show, even though you've been there, that you haven't technically on the map, in quotes, been there, because the actual data that shows completed or checked areas on the map is not saved from transition to transition. So that's an example of some of the data that could potentially be lost from one game to the other. All right, so Mushroom not giving us anything fancy today. So xelnas here is able to use the hook shot to make it across this little river. And mirror in hand, this routing is actually really nice because xelnas is able to check the graveyard ledge. So, I mean, we've already had 2 tournaments for this combo randomizer that has gone through. We had the 1v1 tournament that was ran through the Game Racing channel, as well as the 2v2 co-op. Was that Space Jump? I missed what was there on Bumper Ledge, but I would assume that since xelnas has Magic Cape, if it was anything of value, he would have picked it up. So yeah, there have been 2 tournaments that are already completed for this combo randomizer. One of them was ran by the Game Racing channel. That was a 1 versus 1 tournament, single player. And then Speed Gaming also hosted a 2v2 co-op tournament that was a teams race where you were in communication with a partner and you both played the same seed, played the game together. You got to communicate about what items you found. It makes the game go quite a bit faster. But Speed Gaming is also going to be hosting another tournament for the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer that has a cash prize of $400 for the first place, $200 for second place, 200, 250, I can't remember. And then 100 or 150 for the third place. Ready 1991 asks, how does the game end? When you get the Triforce or you beat Metroid? You are required to beat both games. You have to kill Ganon and you have to kill Mother Brain to complete the requirements for the game. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. You can... Oh, thank you, Link Force. I couldn't remember the link. It doesn't matter what order you beat either game in. You could do Ganon first after you collect all 7 crystals, or you can go and kill Mother Brain and then head back into Link to the Past and finish up Ganon afterwards. You will technically, like... Ooh, these spikes are being really brutal. So, if you decide to beat Super Metroid before finishing up Link to the Past, very well done, xelnas. If you do decide to beat Super Metroid before finishing up Link to the Past, you do still have to go through a partial part of the escape sequence after you beat Mother Brain. You still go through the escape sequence. You gotta make it out of the planet, blah, blah, blah. Explosions are occurring, but you don't have a timer. And as soon as you make it back to the surface of the planet, or after you go through the escape shaft sequence where you would normally have to decide if you want to save or kill the animals, the explosions stop, the planet returns to normal, and you're able to continue playing throughout Super Metroid. So if you have a progression item, something like maybe Hookshot, still within Super Metroid, you're able to continue playing through Super Metroid to find that item. Likewise, if you go through Link to the Past, finish all of the dungeons, kill Ganon. As soon as you've killed Ganon and you walk into the Triforce room, you are just teleported directly back on top of the pyramid in the Dark World. So that if you finish Link to the Past, but you still need something like a gravity suit, or you haven't found Charge Beam, so you need additional ammo to beat Mother Brain, that you are still able to go through and find and complete those items. Alright, so School Woods completed here by xelnas. That is our first 5/6 crystal. We have a lot of item checks available here in the Village of Outcast, or the Dark Kakariko Village. Chest game holding 50 rupees, getting our money back and then some, as well as some additional ammo for Super Metroid. All right, Thieves Town, first chest is the big key. And a small key, so that puts the Thieves Town big chest in logic. All right, so now we're heading to the back half of Thieves Town. Very nicely done making it through the hellway there. Not the harmless hellway, of course. But gonna head up here to bomb the floor to open up the sunlight room for the blind fight. 300 rupees, not bad. These goblins are absolutely terrible. Okay. Alright, a couple more item checks available for xelnas here. Oh, I was gonna say that Zazak's gonna turn around and get him, but he made it. Alright, a big 20. So I believe there's one more item available, either on blind or here in the Thieves' Town big chest. Alright, so it's on blind. We have found all of our dungeon items, all of our keys. So blind, this fight that we're heading into, is a predictable fight. I don't like to say that it's a scripted fight, but it is predictable in the movements that blind makes and can make. It's very easy to learn the rotation. As soon as you get the first head off of blind, the first fireball that it spits out always aims directly to you, and then the 3 following fireballs that it spits out go in whatever direction the face is pointing. So you're able to kind of predict where blind is going to be moving. You're going to be able to know that regardless of what weapon you're using, it takes 9 hits. Tempered sword, buttered sword, fighter sword, hammer, whatever weapon you're using, it requires 9 hits. Ooh, there's that various suit. Alright, and xelnas picking up the little toad guy here. We have the mirror in hand as well as the hammer, so this is a really good routing for the blacksmith chain. And xelnas is doing a really great job of showing off the hammer dash or the item dash. It's a little trick that's only available in the Japanese version of the ROM that allows you to dash while using a hammer or a bow or a cane of Burna or something like that. It's a little bit of a swaggy showmanship, but it also makes a couple things like hammer pegs a lot easier to do rather than going over and hammering every single peg down. You have to have a sword, you have to have boots, and you have to have the subsequent the item that you want to use, such as hammer, bow, cane of Burna, so on. You can also do a shovel dash with the shovel to just dig a long line of holes in the ground. It's pretty fun. Alright, so we're going to head over here to the digging game. I'm going to talk to this dude and dig a couple holes in the ground to see if we can find an item that we want. So far, not much going on here. Alright, piece of heart. And as is being mentioned in chat currently, once you pick up the purple chest, the game takes on this mode that it believes that you have a companion with you, something such as Zelda following you, the maid from Thieves Town following you, old man from the cave, the frog or the smith from Dark World here. And if you come across Dig Game and you have something following you like that, the guy will actually tell you, hey, you know, come back when you're alone. So Xelnas, not having remembered that he had the purple chest and hadn't done Dig Game yet, he used the mirror to go back into the light world and then dropped the chest off and went back into the dark world, which effectively loses the purple chest for you as an item that you're carrying with you. But it also makes it so that you're able to go and talk to the Dig Game NPC and start that out. And Soulside in chat asking, did he check C-shaped house? Yes, he actually came from the north side of Dark World and went to C-shaped house to start out in Village of Outcast. I believe it was 300 rupees in C-shaped house, so. Ooh, Zelna's getting a little bit of shade for leaving the bug net behind. We've already done Aga, you guys, like, don't need to do it. Don't need it. Hey, Sakura, I just wanted to let you know that we found Moon Pearl. I heard you like that item. All right, so heading up this direction, we have Hype Cave available. We've got Palace of Darkness available with bow and lantern, completable 100%, as well as still looking for flippers to be able to do Swamp Palace or Ice Palace location checks, as well as our Meridia back location. Yo, I would say that's a pretty hype cave. Right, so let's take a quick check on what we are still looking for go mode. Definitely going to need flute, Kano Samaria, as well as at least ether, maybe potentially one more item in a medallion. I'm sure that xelnas would love to see high jump boots so that we're able to go through the escape sequence of Super Metroid and a couple other checks within Meridia. Also, still really a lot easier to do with high jump boots. All right, grabbing a small key from the left side of Palace of Darkness there. This is not a bow-locked dungeon for the right side of the front of escape. Bow is still always required for Palace of Darkness simply because the statue in the back half of Palace of Darkness will always require a single arrow to pass through and to make it to the Helmisar King. We have a question in chat. Is Ped still alive? Potentially, yes. Pedestal could still have our required ether or other medallion, as well as flute. But anything else, Kano Samaria could be required for Ice Palace, so I would imagine that that will not be on Pedestal. And flippers are also going to be required for Swamp Palace and Ice Palace, that are both pendant dungeons. But yes, there are a couple of things that could still remain on Pedestal that could cause a Pedestal seed. I would hope that for xelnas' sake that this is not a Pedestal seed after it was already a Forced Aghanim seed, with Moon Pearl having been on Pyramid Ledge. We don't want to see that. I mean, you guys might want to, but I would hope for xelnas that that is not going to be required. All right, so here are a couple more items available. A key hidden behind the harmless hallway here in Pod. Getting that big key opens up the boss as well as the big chest. All right, first Dark Maze item is a pack of peebs. xelnas getting ready to do a death warp. Some more Super Metroid ammo available. And an E-Tank. So he's gonna take a death here to warp back to the beginning of the dungeon. All right. Heading to the boss room here in Palace of Darkness. Gotta push this little statue over this button since we don't have King of Samaria to hold the button down for us. And Helmusar King stands no chance against those silver arrows, as well as our hammer and tempered sword, but it does have our final dungeon item. So we've got one more thing to find here, potentially in Palace of Darkness. Could be one of our necessary items needed for go mode. Coming up on the turtle room, hammer is required for these guys to flip them over so that you can actually do damage to their soft little underside. And we make it through. All right, perfect. Very well done, Dash, right through those terror pins. And on to Helmusar King we go. 16, 17 hits to the mask with the hammer. Astro Zombie Photography. Wow, what a career choice. Asking, do the Metroid items do anything? In Link to the Past, they don't really help you with a whole lot, but there are 4 locations in Link to the Past that allow you to transition into Super Metroid that would, of course, require Super Metroid items. So. All right, having finished up Palace of Darkness, we are still missing the flute. Yeah, still missing the flute. So since we've defeated Aghanim, sorry. Anytime you save and quit, it will put you back on the pyramid because you have mirror. So then you have to mirror back to the light world, save and quit again to be able to get the item or the option to choose which dungeon to come back to. Or I mean, not dungeon, but save location. So like Link's house, Sanctuary, Death Mountain. Okay, maybe xelnas didn't check C-shaped house. I was wrong. Okay, it was still rubies though. So at this point, we really only have Super Metroid available as far as like a lot of progression. There are still a couple places like Spike Cave and so on that are available within Link to the Past, but we're not able to enter into Turtle Rock because we don't have the Ether Medallion or King of Samaria. We can't go to Misery Mire because we don't have the flute or the necessary medallion that would be required to enter it. It's also not completable without Cane of Samaria. So at this point, our progression has to be in Meridia or Lower Norfair. Soulside, this is live. Xelnas is also racing live. This is not a pre-recorded run. Looks like Xelnas is heading over to check Hookshot Cave. First item here in Hookshot Cave, a 20 rupee half magic. Love to see that, especially with Turtle Rock in the books. Some arrows and some rupees. All right, Xelnas heading over to check out Spike Cave. Half magic also makes things quite nice in Spike Cave. This could potentially hold Ether, Cane of Samaria, Flute, Flippas. Or 3 bombs. You know, I mean, it could also hold 3 bombs. So at this point, I'm probably going to say that our remaining progression is likely going to be somewhere within Super Metroid. All right, Xelnas heading back into Super Metroid. I would suspect that he's likely heading towards Meridia, since he's going up from Upper Norfair instead of down towards Lower Norfair. All right, 1 power bomb to the glass hallway here. We'll shatter the pieces and allow us entry into Meridia. Some of the best music in the game. Alu_ in chat asking, what does combo mean? That means that it's more than one, or combo randomizer, meaning that both games are randomized and mixed together in the same game. Somebody named Total decided that he wanted to play both Super Metroid and A Link to the Past at the same time, but he still wanted to play the randomizers, so he was like, hey, how about I just stick them together, and that way I can find the bow in Super Metroid or Gravity Suit on Pedestal. Fortunately, Gravity Suit's not on Pedestal this time, but it could happen. It's happened. It's happened to me before, and then I cried myself to sleep that night. Not really, but it was pretty brutal. All right, so here in Meridia, with the Gravity Suit, no high jump boots, can be a little bit of a task to make it through and climb up some of these locations. Ice beam makes it a little bit easier, but high jump boots or space jump definitely 1,000,000% makes all of this a lot easier. Main Street missiles today are Main Street super missiles. Upgrade. Hey, there's our ether coin that we need for Turtle Rock. We will definitely be seeing xelnas pick that up. Maybe later. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely make sure to hop over to xelnas's channel to give him a follow and make sure that you check out his stream. Alu in chat once again. This is a combo randomizer. There are 4 locations in the games that allow you to transition from one game to the other. So they are in the same ROM. You're playing both games. You are required to beat both games before the completion of the game is technically counted. And xelnas. Gotta get the item from the big grapple room on the right. The wall has a little ooh yeah, using the x-ray there, he can see that there's a little hallway that you can use the morph ball to get to that item. So really good use of his items that he's collected so far. X-ray showing how you can get there. So where that little red creeper dude is, there's a little pathway that you can use the morph ball to get to. Again, as I said, doing anything in Meridia without high jump boots is a little bit of a task, to say the least. It can be pretty hard, even with Ice Beam. Space Jump is also super lovely to have. As well as Grapple Beam can really make routing through Meridia a lot easier. Alright, so xelnas should be able to make it back up to the main room here. The main grapple room. And then using Morph Ball, be able to just hop down through the little path. Oh, right there where that red crab is. Yeah, see there, that's where we need to go. Yeah, we got it. All right, cool. There is our ether medallion that is required for Turtle Rock. We still need Cane of Samaria, flippers. Technically, maybe we don't need flippers. And flute. Gonna need flute. Well, I guess flute technically may not be required if we use the lower Norfair access to get to Misery Mire. But we could also still need one more medallion depending on what's going to be required for Misery Mire access. And Xelnas is looking for the Mama Turtle room, which is one more little area over down on the bottom. There we go. And our Mama Turtle wall item today is a piece of heart. Shoot the turtles. The baby turtles. There we go. Gotta wait a little bit longer. Ooh. Turtles being a butt today. Alright, just some super missiles. So nothing here at Mama Turtle today. Alright, so gonna be heading up towards the aqueduct area. It's next part of Meridia that gives us access towards Dragon. Quite a few item checks, including both sand pits. And then we'll be able to progress towards Dragon. Very nice spark there. Oh, yes, that's right. We also do have access to the sandy beaches and the wishing well for Meridia here as well. So Xelnas is saving here in this aqueduct area because, ooh, missed that. Because there are two locations that are just below this room that, ooh, a hard container, I like that. There are two locations that are here at the bottom of the screen, hidden under this the quicksand, that are a little bit inconvenient to have to route in. He's going to check the left sand pit here now. There's 2 items per sand pit. Let's see. First one looked to be a big 20 and piece of heart. So you'll see him do a reset of the game here back to the save space that he just used. That will allow him to not have to worry about looping all the way back through Meridia back to the aqueduct room here. And it allows him to be able to reset back to this location. He'll be able to check the right sand pit as well. I think he'll possibly skip that heart container, maybe pick it up later. And this also is one way that you can route in Shack Tool. Oh, look! High jump boots. That is a really, really rude location for high jump boots and a big 20. So I would suspect that xelnas is going to keep the high jump boots here. These sand pit rooms can be a little bit weird to get out of, but here on the right side is where you'll kind of fall back through the sand pit, and xelnas looks to be heading towards Shack Tool, but we don't have grapple beam, so he's gonna have to do an ice clip or come back later. Oh yeah, he realizes now. No grapple, no Shack Tool for you today, unless we get grapple and have to come back later for flute or something. Well, I guess we don't need flute if we have lower Norfair access. Never mind. Alright, so he is going to keep his high jump boots and head towards probably heading on towards Dragon and Vatun. And there is an option here to kind of bypass having to do this roundabout area by doing something called the green gate glitch. In the room above this is another green gate that is actually on the other side. So you can't technically shoot the gate open from the side that you come into, but you can do what we call the green gate glitch that allows you to kind of shoot your missile past the actual gate to hit the button from the other side. It's pretty cool. Kind of hard to do, but all right. So xelnas is making it back here to this open grapple room, getting that nice shine spark again, and we are back to the aqueduct. And he is heading up north here, which will allow him to check the Sandy Beaches area as well as the Wishing Well, or the other name for this location that I can never remember. It's on the right side, xelnas. There you go. Oh wait, go back. Oh well, he'll check it on his way back. And for anybody who's curious about running this yourself in speedrunning, there is a weekly race of this that occurs every Sunday and every Monday. Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Ooh, powder. You are welcome to join the Discord to learn any more information if you want to start speedrunning this yourself. All right, we got one more location here. Down here on the right. Yeah. Nice. All right, big 20. Where are we going? All right, so we are going to be heading over to Dragon and Batrun, I believe, from here. We may also see xelnas do the spark in Aqueduct here to pick up that heart container again. I guess not. We don't really need it anyway, so it's okay. How many hearts do we have? Valkyrie Tiara asks in chat. I'm pretty sure that xelnas was starting on his second row of hearts, so at least 10, maybe 12 now. I know that he had at least one heart in the second row, so possibly up to 12 now. And xelnas is going for the microwave strat here on Batrun, using the charge plasma x-ray to get the charge beam to start passing through Batrun, and then using the x-ray to pause and buffer the game. And every time you change, or every time you enter and then exit from the x-ray beam status, the damage refreshes on the boss, and it just continues to do damage every time the x-ray turns off and on and off and on. Alright, so having finished off Batrun, I'm heading towards Dragon now. I'm gonna take a save here, which is pretty much a really great idea. It's been since he got high jump boots that he saved last. So I would definitely want to save here without grapple. We're probably gonna see another microwave strat on Dragon, which is super easy. Alright, so charge beam in action, X-ray selected, xelnas is going to be heading to microwave strat. So anybody who is asking if we are going to be seeing fried shrimp, the answer is yes. Oh, and he got snagged. When you get picked up by Dragon with those little goopy bits attached to you, it requires that you enter like 60 different inputs on your controller to escape the grapple. And that could be all D-pad, it could be all button smashing, it doesn't really matter. So usually I will just do like a full circle of the D-pad 5 or 6 times. And Dragon's done using microwave strats to finish that up. Very well done. And power bombs hiding behind Dragon here. So we do have the plasma beam location check available. Very nicely done. All right, finishing up here with the Dragon area. Like I said, Shack Tool is still available without grapple. It's really hard to get to. Doing an ice clip is possible, but it's pretty technical and kind of hard to do. We still have the plasma beam item location here in Meridia to check. Pretty sure though that those are the only things remaining here in Meridia. And then we still also have Lower Norfair available. All right, so plasma right here, this little flashing doorway, it only activates and allows you to go in it after you've defeated Dragon. So this hallway, this little tower here, takes you up to the plasma beam location that we've already picked up plasma beam, so we're gonna have to see what item is hiding here today. Ah, just missiles. Womp womp. Feels bad. There is still one other. You gotta kill all the enemies in this room to escape it, and I believe there's still one red pirate down on the bottom that xelnas is gonna have to kill before he can make it out of here. One more. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Good job, xelnas. Oh, he's going for the... Okay. I mean, you can jump out of it. There we go. Perfect. Got it. Hooray! Alright, so it looks like probably just gonna be Lower Norfair for our next progression. Ridley's gotta have something cool. We also still need Screw Attack for Gold Chorizo to technically be required for Logic. So unless you don't want to go this way, this takes you to Wreck Ship. This is the Forgotten Highway that nobody ever goes to. Unless you're playing Super Metroid Combo Randomizer and you have to go this way. Xelnas, turn around! You don't want to go here! Stop! Xelnas got a medallion in Meridia? What? Oh, besides either. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant another medallion on top of that. Wow, okay. Yes, the lightning medallion, which is the gold coin on the tracker, is what is needed for Turtle Rock. Potentially could be that another medallion may be needed for Misery Mire. Xelnas, you don't want to go this way. Like, man. Oh well. Fox Zero in chat making a very good point. We did pick up the powder, so there could potentially be something on Magic Bat. We did already have Mushroom earlier, and we turned it in at the Witch's Hut for a hot bag of garbage. So we weren't able to do a fake powder with the mushroom. We didn't have Kano Sumaria to do that earlier, so powder is definitely possibly holding some progression for us. All right, so back to the beginning of the game. I'm just going to be a couple rooms away from the Criteria landing site, or the Samus ship location. Probably see Xelnas do a health refill, and then should be heading directly towards Lower Norfair. There really isn't anywhere else progression-wise, or even available for him to do. All right, 100 missiles, 40 supers, 20 power bombs, plenty of ammo, plus charge beam, plasma beam, ice beam. Definitely good to go. I guess we do have a couple items still available in Blueprint Star behind the original Morph Ball location. Potentially could hold something there, including Cane of Samaria or Flute, that could have led us to the Mire area early. We also have the escape shaft location that requires speed booster. We've got waterway. All right, we're heading into this portal here. It takes us to Upper Norfair. We've got Crockermire. All right, heading through Cathedral here. Gonna check the lava item. Oh, one more over. All right, just some bombs there. All right, so we've got the reserve room here. Speed booster has a couple items. Wave beam room, and then Lower Norfair, Crockermire, and a couple other weird one-off locations like speed booster locked locations, waterway, so on. These are not eggs. They're are they eggs? No, they're just bubbles. All right, so the first item here, 300 rupees. A couple more items here behind this little wall of bubbles. Including a piece of heart and some arrows, so we out. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. All right, so hopping into this room, gonna do a running jump here that allows a little bit more height to, yeah, especially with high jump boots, that's a much easier jump to do. Get you up there so that you can head towards the speed booster location. Oh, all right. One item here above the door before speed booster. And then the speed booster item itself. Yo! Who doesn't love to see a gold sword? Arrow capacity upgrade. Nobody likes to see that. Another cool thing about this this combo randomizer, if you end up getting into that speed booster room before actually finding the speed booster, and then you leave it, normally the lava does that quick rise thing and you have to run out and it's like, whoa, I'm gonna get swallowed by some lava. If you don't have speed booster, that effect of the lava rising doesn't actually trigger, so you can, you know, take your sweet time getting out of there. So all right, a heart container here just before wave beam. And another 5-pack of power bombs. All right, so this pathing here is backwards. So you're going to see here when he gets to the bottom that the lava is already filled up in this room. But this is definitely one way that we can head towards Lower Norfair, or as some people like to call it, Ridley's Hideout. It's kind of a nice pathing to go backwards a little bit. But xelnas made a liar out of me, and it looks like he's actually heading towards Krakemeyer instead. The Mad Irishman 123 in chat saying, "What are we looking for? Flute and Cane of Samaria?" Technically, flute may not be required. We do have access to the Misery Mire area through Lower Norfair. Flute could potentially be in Misery Mire, and we might not see it. And that's it for Krakemeyer. One single charged plasma shot into Krakemeyer's mouth, and he is done. So that's another really cool thing about the randomizer is Krakemeyer is... Ooh! Yeah! There we go. That's like a non-stripy candy cane. It's just a red cane. It's like a cinnamon cane. All right, so definitely required to at least kill Krakemeyer. We will have to see if any other progression is hiding behind here, but that could potentially be our go mode. I thought I clicked Samaria on the tracker. Stop. Thank you. If we don't need another medallion for Misery Mire, that could be our go mode. We will have to see once we either find the flute or head through Lower Norfair. All right, xelnas trying to do a check here of the Indiana Jones item location. He's got to jump out a little bit more over the lava to, there we go, to check the item here, and it's a big 20. All right, so one more item here in this room available. Oh, gotta jump a little bit later. This is the vanilla grapple beam location. We may still see a vanilla grapple beam. Haven't seen grapple yet. And it's just a missile pack. So with charged plasma, xelnas is definitely going to opt out of picking up that missile pack. I'm not sure if he checked the cosine room, which is just right up here. I may have missed it. Okay, he did not. xelnas, there's an item in that room. Go back! No! Shoot! Really, the chance of us needing another item is, I mean, there's a 60% chance that we may need a different medallion for Misery Mire, but we could be in go mode, like I said, with Ether. Misery Mire could be completable, but we do also have Turtle Rock available now. We've got Lower Norfair still available. Yeah, we'll see how this is going. So he is heading back, but I think he is going back. Yes! Ah. All right. Oh, wait. Yeah. You go. Ooh. Yeah, down there, just below you with the dot. So the estimated time is 3 hours on the schedule. He did request and slot for 3.5 hours. But I was told to just keep going until it's finished. So we're gonna keep going. All right. So xelnas heading up this direction. We still do have Crumble Tower available that xelnas did not check. But I would say probably best to just head towards Lower Norfair. As far as item density, that's going to be your best bet. Turtle Rock is also not a terrible choice, but we may be in go mode, so I would probably just say to go do the thing. So this is kind of an odd thing. I feel like I'm pretty sure that this isn't technically in logic. I'm pretty sure Lava Dive isn't in logic. So flute must be available somewhere. Or space jump somewhere. Like waterway, maybe. So in order to do a gravity dive, it may not be in logic, but it is still possible. You just have to start doing the run and jump menu and then unequip gravity suit, but you have to still be like in the momentum of the jump to make it all the way up. All right. So there are a couple more item locations that could potentially be available, including all of Turtle Rock. Waterway. The other speed booster locked location in the Criteria escape shaft. Magic powder. I'm sorry, magic bat could also be hiding something. Crumble shaft. Alright, so it looks like xelnas is heading towards Turtle Rock, which is probably a really good play. I mean, he has everything he needs to complete that. There's quite a few items that are available there. All right, so here we are in Turtle Rock. Pretty much everything we need we've got. Red mail, Cane of Samaria, butter sword. This will be super easy. Okay, we got a single arrow to start us out. That's good. Oh, and misses that little ledge there. I do that all the time. Not super great at my Cane of Samaria placing. All right, small key and compass. Still looking for the big key, so that can sometimes end up right there on the right side of Turtle Rock in the roller room. All right, this room with the Hoku Boku, or the Pokey. The Hokey Pokey Pokey. Anyways, now onto the chain shop room. This is going to be required to be a key so that we can progress further through the dungeon. And we'll be heading on. I do believe that that means that the big key must be required. I mean, vanilla. Must be vanilla. Of course it's required. Tess, hello. All right. This should be the big key. Ba-da-da-da! Alright, heading over to this little exit door will take us outside of Turtle Rock, technically. That will put us just next to this little area that we can mirror to, back to the light world. The only way that you're able to access this ledge is by being in the dark world to then mirror to the light world first. This is the Mimic Cave. Could potentially hold our flute or space jump, but today it's just a big 20. All right, another pack of missiles here. The small key that's required to make it past this door, found in the chest just before the door. How nice of them. Alrighty. Now this room, a lot of people will say can be a bit tricky, but it's very easy to figure out once you've learned it. It's less easy to do in the dark without lantern, so hope that you never have to do that. And xelnas is using the hookshot here to create some invisibility frames that while the hookshot is extended and returning back to you, you're unable to take any damage. So it nice laser skip, perfect smoky, yay! And there's the flute. That's officially like the rudest thing I've ever seen. Like, what? Yo, free health refill. That's amazing. All right. So that puts Misery Mire into logic now without having to do a lava dive. We do have access to Lower Norfair through the Misery Mire area. The right side Misery Mire shed, or the door to the right side of the Misery Mire entrance, will actually take you to Lower Norfair. So you may not be required to find space jump or anything that could get you into Lower Norfair. All right, and the second head for Trinix is going to be done. And I guess after Turtle Rock here, we will actually be cutting to the next stream. So GG's to xelnas for finishing up with Turtle Rock there. Very well done. And just real quick before I have to go, I'm just gonna shout it out one more time. We do have the weekly Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizers that happen every Sunday and Monday. You're welcome to join the Discord if you want to help out or join any races yourself. And we also have the upcoming winter tournament cash prize Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer. So quick shout out to Xelnas for doing an awesome job with the combo randomizer. Very well done in the amount of time that we were given. But for now, I think we're going to be getting ready to hop over to the next marathon run. I've been Miss Metroid, commentating for Xelnas this afternoon with your Super Metroid A Link to the Past combo randomizer. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you during the tournament. And have a great afternoon.